Mina SayWhat Lona here, sitting with a friend. You might recognize him, former Eagle wide receiver Freddie Mitchell. How are you, Freddie?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me here.
So I'm excited because we're actually good friends.
Right.
But a lot of people know you because you played for the Philadelphia Eagles from the year 2001 to 2005, right?
Yeah, 2005. I enjoyed my time here, man. This Philadelphia city is absolutely an amazing place, and I'm located back in Old City, back in Philadelphia, because I love it so much.
Yeah. So back in the day, they used to call you Fred X or First Down Freddie. Like when you're out and about, do people still yell those names at you?
That's all they That's all they yell. And you know what's so funny? You get a lot of the haters saying, "Oh, he made up his own names and stuff like that." Not true. You know, it was a lot of actually great radio stations that had contests that actually put these names out there, and a lot of them just stuck.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking to Freddie Mitchell today because I wanted to get your input. Our Eagles are headed into the NFC Championship game. You famously made that catch in the divisional playoff game in 2003, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was 2003, and then made a couple more catches than the following year. But, you know, sometimes all it takes is one. You know, you only get one shot sometimes.
Right. So Freddie was very instrumental in helping us not only to the Super Bowl, but also to the NFC Championship. So right now, what do you think is going through the players' minds? Because you've been in this position.
Man, they just want that platform to actually show them show everybody, show the world what they're made of. You know, a lot of people don't get these chances, these opportunities. And, you know, it's funny, it's an Eminem song, you only get one shot. It really, really rings in my head because these players might not get that opportunity next year.
Right.
So it's going to be a great, great game. I can't wait. I'm super excited. The city's excited. I'm ready to go.
How do you prepare for NFC championship game? Is there a different preparation or it's the same thing?
It really isn't. It really isn't. You know, you get more of the media outlets and stuff like that that come and disturb you. But you know, they're really, really they're on their same routine. You do your same routine, you study the same, you do everything the same, and then it just comes out where you get a better performance.
Yeah. So we had to switch our strategy a little bit after Carson Wentz got injured. What do you think about the strategy and what Doug Peterson is doing right now?
Yeah, you know, it's a strategy that I'm sad that happened because Carson Wentz was a great, great part of the Eagle team. But, you know, don't get it twisted. This Eagles defense is the reason why Carson Wentz got 3, 4, 5 opportunities to do something and make bigger plays. So this defense is the reason why this team is here right now. Do not get it twisted. You know, guys, and you know, little guys like Vinny Curry, all the guys that you don't hear their names. Man, that's such an intricate part of success and them doing their job to make the players with the bigger names be able to ball out and get names for themselves.
So when Carson got injured, obviously the game plan changed. Doug Peterson said after our last win that people are really discounting the team. Do you think that's fair at this point from the Eagle fan?
No, I don't think that's fair at all of Mr. Peterson, and I have much respect and appreciate everything that he's done. But at the end of the day, you know, nobody's doubting you. You know, your starting quarterback, he got hurt. You know, you lost to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, you're playing against, you know, I guess one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, Matt Ryan, you was playing against. So, of course you're underdog. I mean, it's like, come on. I mean, if it was anybody else, they would treat him the same. Matt Ryan against, you know, a player of Nick Foles that haven't played in years, of course you're going to be an underdog. So why is that motivating? If that's motivating you, keep it going.
I'm glad you brought up the underdog thing because there's masks and shirts, and this is the actual thing. Like, they're encouraging people to come to the game this Sunday with the masks. And do you think that's a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it motivational?
If it's motivational, if it's false hype, I guess it can happen. You know, I remember when they monetized the 4th and 26 T-shirt after I had that big play. You know, if it's whatever, you know, whatever they do, but don't think that the players appreciate that level of fan and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're not underdogs because of, you know, the media's putting it on you. You know, you're underdogs because you did lose to the Cowboys. You know, you did lose your first string quarterback, which is an MVP of the whole league. one of the possibilities of MVP. So I think that they just need to go in there, need to do their job. They need to focus up on the game plan, because the coaches are doing an amazing job putting them in the right places. And that three-headed monster, oh my goodness, them running backs. You got Blunt, you got Blunt taking charge. You have Clement, that is my MVP, because he does the little things. Yeah. And then you got Ajayi. I mean, let's talk about them. Let's talk about the three-headed monster that actually gets them hard third downs. We need to talk about more things rather than the quarterbacks around here. We need to talk about that defense that is galvanizing, and we need to talk about the offensive players that have stepped up for Jason Peters and Sproles and all them guys. You got to talk about things like that. I understand you're going to put the quarterback on the pedestal, because I've been there. I've been there. But, hey, let's talk about them players that aren't getting any burn and getting any love that actually makes this thing happen.
I love your passion. I'm getting the energy. Do you watch the games and you get just as energized as if you were out there still?
I do. I watch every play right now, and I'm definitely energized. It's so funny. I had I watched the games with Trey Thomas and Brian Westbrook, some of my old players, teammates, and the greatest things is to see Trey Thomas cheering on Vitae, to see Brian Westbrook cheering on Clement. It's just like, you can't make this up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? These guys, because they've been in our shoes. We've been in a position where Donovan McNabb has actually, got hurt, and we thought we lost him, and we thought it was over with. We've been in that position where Terrell Owens got hurt, and I had to come in and start in his place and still made plays. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of sauce brought by Freddie Mitchell, Fred X, Hollywood, or whatever you want to call him. But, you can do what you want to do. You can say what you want to say. But if it was only one play to name my career or whatever else, thank you. I appreciate it. But there's a lot more that goes into that. These guys are out here practicing Monday through Saturday, getting the game plan down and doing a lot of things, and then having to go home and handle things with their families. So it's a lot of things that go into it. I'm just glad that these guys have their platform to use.
Have you spoke to any of the other wide receivers that are playing right now?
No, I haven't really. They're veterans. They know what they're doing. I really, if they reach out to me, I would love to talk to them, but I'm not going to go in there. And if I see them around, I'll talk to them. But it's respect. We all know what's going on. We all know how the game goes. These guys are balling out. They're doing their thing. So I'm not changing nothing up with them. Yeah. They know what they're doing.
Do you think people are being unfair towards Nick Foles? I mean, he stepped into a situation and he's trying to make the best out of it,
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, man. Everybody's saying unfair and stuff like that. Man, I've been treated unfair my whole life, and nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Some of these players have come from the bottom of the bottom and at the top right now and have been treated unfair. But now it's because it's Nick Foles? You know what I'm saying? It's so funny, man. These guys are playing through injuries. These guys are replacing each other. The team camaraderie is amazing. Foles, he's getting paid to do this. Yeah. He's getting paid millions of dollars to do this. He's gotten paid millions of dollars to do this. So just manage the team. Let the defense ball out. It reminds me of the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm not comparing you to Dilfer or anything, Nick Foles, but, that defense was a baller defense too. And they always say, Mina SayWhat? I know what they always say. This is what they always say. They say defense wins championships. Yeah. Defense wins championships.
Let me ask, Carson Wentz, Donovan McNabb, that's a big question. So I read that you think Carson is better, well, prior to the injury, obviously, than Donovan. What do you think? What can you elaborate on that? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'll elaborate on that. I just asked for if you're going to go stats, which, a lot of these big time people are doing, you cannot dismiss Donovan's stats. He's baller. He's a baller. But if I'm a receiver and in a West Coast offense that's predicated on number one's not open, number two's not open, number three, he's open because that's probably Fred X. Throw the ball to him, go down the progression. That's what I like about Carson Wentz. He goes down the progression and everything else. Donovan didn't need to go down the progression as much. He could throw it to Brian Westbrook on the flats, or he could, he had Terrell Owens sometimes, so it's a whole different ball game. If as me being a receiver and want 100,000 catches a year, of course I'm gonna want Carson Wentz because he's gonna throw the ball.
Yeah. Are you going to the game on Sunday?
Absolutely. I support my Eagles. It's funny. No matter how bad somebody treats me, how you have that family member that treats you bad or whatever else, but they still blood. I still bleed green. If I'm not mentioned or whatever else on social media, if I'm not mentioned around in the organization, it doesn't really matter because you know what? I put in a lot of hours at that facility and I do love my Eagles. So I'm rooting for the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I think it's going to be somewhere around 21-17, maybe by more. But I think the Eagles got this.
Nice. We're going to the Super Bowl?
100% going to the Super Bowl. And you'll see Fred X at the Super Bowl too. Let's do this.
First down, Freddie, Fred X, Freddie Mitchell. I'm Mina SayWhat Lona reporting live from your living room. Thank you guys for watching.
Exclusive.